it's a potpourri of where to begin, Kelly, right? So let's begin with these, what you could call federal buyouts, essentially, that seem to have been sent to either every or almost every federal worker, essentially saying, if you are not down with what the administration wants to do, you can get paid through September. You just have to tell us in the next 2 weeks whether you're resigning or not, right?
Yes, it is in some ways pointing to the exits for those federal employees who might want to step away from their work or resist the requirement of the new president to have workers in office. This administration says about 6% of federal workers are showing up for in-office required work 5 days a week. There are many different categories which allow remote work and telework that are built into the system, but they want the workforce back on the job. And so this offers workers who might be uncomfortable, unwilling, maybe just needing a life change, any of the reasons that an employer, this being the largest employer, the federal government, would offer workers a chance to leave their positions with a cushion of financial pay and benefits through September 2025. The ultimate goal here is to reduce the size of the federal workforce and also giving an incentive to those who do not feel they are aligned with President Trump to be able to exit. Now, many federal workers are not supposed to be in any way affected to this degree by the political top of the government, meaning longtime career service, civil service employees who work for presidents of both parties over many years and do their jobs separate from the whole political scheme of Washington. This administration is trying to say we want to pare things down. That's been an objective they've talked about, and they're offering this in a widespread way with a limited window for these employees to consider it, to sign up for it, and then we'll get a better picture of how many federal workers would be willing to step aside. And then there'll be other questions, like what kinds of jobs are they vacating? Will they be replaced? Will they be replaced with people who are particularly loyal to President Trump? All those questions still to come. But this is something we see in corporate America quite often, the offer of buyouts to reduce the workforce, and now we're seeing it here at the federal government.
There's also this new executive order that has just come in as well, one of a slew that the president has put in place over the course of the last 8 days. And the White House has made clear that when it comes to transgender youth, this is a priority for the new president. When you look at how this essentially restriction on gender-affirming care aligns with other states, 26 states already have passed similar laws. Obviously, this is not a law, this is an executive order, but have passed something similar on the state level. This is now President Trump doing, again, something else that he said he would do on the campaign trail, Kelly.
And using the power of the presidential pen, and this is a detailed executive order that affects those 19 and younger, so anyone through the end of their 18th year, that if they are subjected to the types of medical care, chemical and pharmaceutical intervention, surgical, of course, that if that is provided by insurance that's provided by the federal government, that could be limited. Also, questions about having the Department of HHS look at drug clearances for this. Are these the appropriate drugs? So it's regulatory, and it has to do with those who get government insurance, and it's sweeping in its approach to want to curtail this kind of gender-affirming care and medical intervention for young people. And tomorrow is the confirmation hearing for Robert Kennedy, who would be the nominee of the president to be the HHS secretary. Kelly, Some of this is directed at that agency.
Kelly, before I let you go too, again, in the many topics that have come to a head in just the last hour here, one of them is that federal funding pause that created confusion around the country today. Confusion that the White House blames on the media, that others from lawmakers and beyond, right, regular folks have said they really feel, they don't really know what to expect from this. The White House sought to clarify this today, but at about 5 o'clock Eastern, so just about an hour and 7 minutes ago, right on the dot, as you well know, a federal judge came out and essentially pressed pause on the pause until Monday. We now know that 22 states have filed a lawsuit over this federal funding freeze as well. So the legal challenges are mounting here. How prepared is the Trump administration for that? What does the White House plan to do moving forward?
Well, the White House is arguing that it has the legal authority, and now that'll be tested. And certainly this president is prone to litigation. It's happened in his real life, his personal life, and it certainly happened through his time in the White House in his last term. So this is something that they expected. They are arguing that the president has this authority and that what they want to do is make sure that the executive orders and the policies of this administration match what is happening on the agency level. Now, many other voices are saying that goes too far. It interferes with Congress's right to appropriate money and to have that money be used in the way the law, the various laws that are attached here are written, and not to be simply changed by a new president. And so they will have to look at this and meet the challenge by responding in court, and that's some of what we expect. They're saying it's not aimed at the individual, it's aimed at matching policies and making sure federal dollars line up where Donald Trump is. Allie?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.